Hello mga kabox! Kung ikaw ay bago pa lamang sa ating channel, pinutin lamang ang subscribe button at notification bell para lagi kang updated sa mga bagong videos. Ngunit maraming salamat at enjoy sa pananood.
And now for the thousands in attendance and the millions around the world who wish they could be here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Fighting out of the blue corner, standing with head trainer Roberto Garcia, wearing black with red, officially weighing 150 pounds. His professional record, 38 victories, including 27 knockouts with 6 defeats. From Tijuana, Baja California Norte, Mexico, the 3-time champion of the world, El Tornado de Tijuana, Antonio Margarito. And fighting out of the red corner, standing with head trainer Freddie Roach, wearing white with gold, official weight 144 1/2 pounds. Professional record, 51 victories, including 38 knockouts, with 3 defeats and 2 bouts even. From Sarangani Province, Philippines, the 7-time champion of the world, Manny Pacman.
Manny! Rosaries, you want to take his rosaries off? Rosaries? All right, gentlemen. I went over things early in the dressing room. I want you to obey my commands. Protect yourselves all times. Understood? Play Olympia, Buenos Suerte, touch him up. Let's have a great fight.
Antonio Margarito has said that Manny Pacquiao better be ready for war. Pacquiao always is, and so are we.
Already it has been a tumultuous evening in Cowboy Stadium. Prior to the fight, Antonio Margarito's hand-wrapping exercise was, because of his recent history, carefully observed, probably the most carefully watched hand-wrap ever, and of course Pacquiao's hand-wrap was so observed. But during the same period of time, members of Pacquiao's camp believed they saw Antonio Margarito either drinking coffee or taking an ephedra-based substance in the dressing room. They protested to the Texas State Athletic Commission. The Athletic Commission had to bring the 2 trainers together. There were fierce and heated words on both sides. Eventually, it was determined that a drug test after the fight will have to be the measure of whether Margarito has taken a banned substance, and Pacquiao, for his part, gave no indication that he ever considered not entering the ring to fight. So here they are.
And Margarito starting with a decent jab.
Something surely he has worked on in training. The question there, of course, becomes how long does it last? Pacquiao trying to get inside and go to the body. And Emmanuel Stewart, must Pacquiao fight a pressure fight?
Right now, Manny cannot. I see the size difference. It's a big factor right now. I see he's punching. He's not used to punching on a man as big as this man is, who seems to be absorbing his blows pretty easy.
Punching up at an angle robs you of power, does it not?
Yes, it does.
So he has a better chance to affect Margarito with his normal power if Margarito hunches over and brings himself down to him a little bit.
What I'm surprised about is Margarito's jab, which is a very good move. And that seems to be at this stage, the most dominant punch in the fight has been his left jab.
And the last thing people expected to see was Antonio Margarito standing in the middle of the ring and boxing with Manny Pacquiao, but that's what's happened so far. There's a left hand over the top for Manny that brings the crowd to life for him.
Manny needs to try to catch Margarito when he's jabbing with a little left step back and shoot the straight left right through the center. But other than that, he may have a problem tonight. I see the physical side seems to be a big factor.
What about going to Margarito's body and trying to bring Margarito's arms and head down?
Well, one thing, Manny makes adjustments as the fight goes on very well. And if you notice, after most fights when we interview him, he tells you how I was smart, I played it a little safe, I made adjustments. He's a very intelligent fighter.
Margarito has thrown almost exclusively jabs in the first round. That goes against the scouting report. Pacquiao with a good right-left combination upstairs. Margarito's grinning at him as twice Pacquiao fired the left right up the gut and landed it on Margarito's face.
Margarito has shown a good jab, especially early in the round, but Pacquiao's dominated this round with a right hook, with a straight left hand to the body.
Well, he's won maybe the round, but I don't think he's dominated. I think I see a lot of effectiveness with the jabs of Margarito's too.
The speed advantage is unquestioned, and you saw Pacquiao's blazing hand speed at the end of the round.
It's beautiful body shots, beautiful jab. Keep that going, keep that rhythm going. That was perfect round.
Perfect in jab move, perfect en body shot. Mientras él se mueve por donde él quiera, los golpes van los mismos. Usted mientras tú calmadito, el jab largo,
long jab, long jab, and take him on with the jab. And then the right, but straight and fast. Not slow and not far away. Jab, 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 and then the right. All right, drink a little water. Are you feeling good?
Comedy box numbers in round one were fairly even. Pacquiao was 16 out of 63. Margarito 13 out of 53. The shock of the round, Margarito throwing 44 jabs out of 53 punches.
I gave the round slightly to Pacquiao because he landed some pretty clean punches, but the left jab seems to be becoming more of a factor as the fight goes on from Margarito. But I thought Pacquiao landed enough clean shots inside to slightly win the round.
Margarito has been a notoriously slow starter through much of his career. A 53-punch output for Antonio Margarito in round one seems very low, but he has had trouble getting rolling in the early parts of some of his fights, notably the Paul Williams fight. Margarito, still content to stand in the middle of the ring and box with Manny Pacquiao, has not tried to drive him to the ropes. The referee is Lawrence Cole. He's the son of Texas State Commission head Dickie Cole, and you usually see him at major fights here in Texas.
You know, early in the 𝕻𝕗 fight, Pacquiao was also hit a bit more than we used to see him hit in recent fights.
Yeah,
and here Margarito has landed not only some shots, he landed a headbutt followed by a right hand. These are hard shots from a big man.
But the size has been a big factor in this fight, as I see right here.
But speed belongs to Pacquiao, and so he rallies back there. Still, the loss of power from punching up could be a factor in the fight. Pacquiao beginning to focus a little more to the body, I think. That would probably be a good idea.
I still see the same facial expression that Margarito had when he fought Cotto.
I mean, you're not supposed to be on the ropes against Margarito, and there he is on the ropes, Emmanuel.
Well, I think the size, I keep saying size, but I just see that being a big factor in this fight right now, the way it's going.
That was the first time that Pacquiao found his body against the ropes. And if there was one thing Freddie Roach harped on throughout training, it was, don't put your back on the ropes. Never.
Looks like Pacquiao is determined not to be bullied by the bigger guy and is foregoing some defense and a little bit more in the mode that we saw him as a lighter fighter when he would go toe-to-toe more with some of the great Mexican fighters that he beat south of lightweight.
Left hook inside by, or left cross inside by Pacquiao. He lands the right hook too as Margarito steps in. Margarito has been landing his jab. Pacquiao is landing power shots when he gets close. Uppercuts for Margarito, his favorite punch. He landed both the left and the right hand uppercut there.
This is why when you ask me, did Margarito have a chance, I said yes, mainly a lot because of the size factor. And Pacquiao's, I'm looking at the eyes, Pacquiao's much more uncomfortable than Margarito is at this stage, even though he may be winning the fight.
Brand new experience for Pacquiao, of course, fighting a man this big. Delectable experience, perhaps, for Margarito, fighting a man this small. Couple of power shots at the end of the round, though, for Manny Pacquiao.
Listen to me. It's too early. It's too early to start banging with this guy. Let's break him down a little bit more with the boxing. Okay? We need to box.
Right. Okay. Masyadong maaga pa na kunin natin siya ng ganung sitwasyon. Masyadong maaga. Okay?
When I was giving you the keys to victory earlier, I said Margarito didn't work left uppercuts or right uppercuts through the middle because in the past it's shown that Pacquiao is very vulnerable for punches up through the center.
Active round, CompuBox count, 27-76 for Pacquiao, 26 of 85 for Margarito. They are separated by a punch or two in terms of landed punches in the first couple of rounds of the fight. But a lot of Margarito's lands are jabs, and most of Pacquiao's are power punches inside. You heard Freddie Roach saying to Pacquiao, it's too early to start trying to bang this guy around. You need to soften him up a little more.
It's been a long time since Manny Pacquiao looked vulnerable, and he's looked a little vulnerable here early.
Pacquiao pressing the speed advantage. Margarito still fighting for him, an unfamiliar fight in the middle of the ring, boxing with his hands up, doing reasonably well at it. Part of the book on the fight was Margarito's not a jabber, doesn't have the kind of jab that will bother Pacquiao. First 3 rounds, Margarito's jab was bothering Pacquiao. Good straight left hand by Pacquiao. Brought it around Margarito's glove and landed flush. Another one. Little right hook inside for Pacquiao. Despite the vaunted Pacquiao power, none of these punches seem to be really bothering Margarito. They're just landing. Good right hook inside by Pacquiao, landed on the chin. Now Margarito talks to Lawrence Cole about headbutts. Pacquiao flirts with the corner there, then moves away. Now his back is against the ropes. Margarito tries to press the action. Pacquiao hits him flush with a big left hand, and then flurries and backs Margarito off again. Pacquiao using the hand speed advantage to get Margarito off of it.
It does look like, Emmanuel, that Manny Pacquiao has figured out something in Margarito in the last minute or so.
Yeah, the one thing he's got to do is punch and flurries and get in and out. Because just trying to just force a knockout is not going to happen. He's got to eventually catch him with a clean shot. But in the meantime, I still see that the weight difference on Margarito is pushing through and forcing Manny to back. And it's a difference with moving side to side, but he's pushing him straight back.
Good right hand shot by Margarito around Pacquiao's guard. I think one thing Pacquiao's discovered in this round is that Margarito's gloves are split, and he can throw his left hand straight up the middle. Pacquiao hadn't won the round before the last 10 seconds. He might have stolen it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Ayaw, Juan. Okay. Okay, Brad. Todos los golpes bien seguros, ¿ok? Pero con la presión, métase.
But pressure. Go in, get in on the inside, and boom, boom, boom. Okay. Not too far away. Not when he's moving. I want secure punches.
Here you see Pacquiao land beautiful punches, even with his defense up. Margarito still was getting good punches because of the accurate pinpoint punching power, Pacquiao. But also, you notice at the end of all of this year, Margarito still has a smile on his face.
Well, as guys will often do as they're being touched up. I'm not sure that means anything, really. Pacquiao now getting a little distance between himself and Margarito in CompuBox numbers. That was a very good round for Manny. Harold, how do you have it through 3?
Okay, Jim. 3-0, 30-27, Manny Pacquiao. Jim, I love the guy's power punching. I mean, you know, really, he's winning this fight on clean, effective punching. Now, he shows great ring generalship. Don't take it away from him. He throws the right, then he throws the left, then he steps to the side. So when Margarito comes out of the shell, he don't hit him because the guy ain't there. You know, that's good ring generalship. Pacquiao does it all the time. 3-0, Pacquiao.
I gotta say, I agree with Harold, guys. I see this as a wide fight for Pacquiao. I think Margarito's doing well in spots and rounds, but I haven't seen a round I thought, oh, maybe Margarito won.
No, I give all 3 rounds to Pacquiao also. I think he's winning, but he's got to be prepared to maybe have to go the distance in case he gets a knockout finally. But, you know, even though he's landing and winning the fight, he's got to be, but I hope he's in great shape.
I think you're looking at 12 rounds of nervous jeopardy, but he might win every round. On the other hand, Margarito is telling his corner and has told them several times, according to interpreter 𝕬𝕗𝕗, he has no power, he can't hurt me, talking about Pacquiao. Now, the marks begin to show on Margarito's face as he has a big red welt under his right eye. So Pacquiao can do that.
Yeah, Margarito's saying that Pacquiao's not hurting him because his face is telling a different story.
Indeed. And Pacquiao's beginning to land with almost every punch.
The difference here between Pacquiao and Mosley, who manhandled Margarito, is Pacquiao may be younger and better and faster than Mosley, but he's not as physically strong and has to do this rather than just bully Margarito around the ring.
He's beating Margarito up in this round. There's a huge welt under Margarito's right eye. He's backing Margarito up, and he's hurting him. And Margarito can say all he wants that Pacquiao can't hurt him, but that's not true.
Pacquiao hit him with a body punch, I think, and maybe they took all the starch out of him.
Margarito misses wildly with a right to the body. Pacquiao is fully in control now. Hand speed slices you up. That's what's happening now.
And Pacquiao, no matter how small he is relative to his opponent, has never stopped punching like he means it.
But what makes him different from a lot of today's fighters, he punches through his opponents. Most of the fighters today, they punch at the target. Very seldom do they penetrate.
Pacquiao stood still for a moment, got backed in the ropes and hit with an uppercut. But that's the only bad moment so far in an otherwise totally dominant round.
Margarito slowed down tremendously this round, even though he wasn't doing too much and he was losing. But it seemed like that one body punch took everything out of him.
Among all the experts' comments coming into the fight, one of the ones I found most interesting was from Joshua Clottey. Clottey said Margarito's mistake will be to think that Pacquiao doesn't have the power to hurt him. Trust me, he has the power to hurt him.
Work the eye. Let me see the eye.
Yeah, yes.
It's okay. Tony, you got to close up the defense. Well, you've got to throw your hands in. Use your jab. Use the jab first. Start up with the jab.
Here you see the left hand shot to the body, which I think started all of the serious problems for Margarito. Even though he was being outpointed, seemingly with that shot, he never has recuperated. And if you notice, his body form is bending over as if he's still hurt from the body punch.
He looked wilted at the end of the round. And that right eye doesn't look good. The cut man in Antonio Margarito's corner is Francisco Espinoza. He's got a big job on his hands now. Sensational round for Pacquiao, who landed 43 of 62 power shots, demonstrating what a lot of people said coming into the fight, that Margarito is a big but easy target. CompuBox tells us that Manny's output in round 4 represents the largest number of punches ever landed on Antonio Margarito in a single round.
And you know, Pacquiao punches very accurate too. He doesn't miss waist punches. His punches are very accurate.
I think he's the most accurate puncher in boxing, Emmanuel. He even has the ability to adjust the punch in mid-arc.
Yeah.
Margarito going to the body against the ropes. That was the first moment that Margarito actually made it look for a moment like his fight against Cotto. And here comes Pacquiao.
As always.
He loves to answer back.
Yes.
Incidentally, guys, I mentioned CompuBox saying that Pacquiao just landed the most punches ever landed on Antonio Margarito in a single round. This despite the fact that Margarito went 12 rounds with extreme volume puncher Paul Williams, who fought a great fight against him.
Pacquiao's hitting him harder.
Absolutely, he jolted Margarito with the left hand there. Jolts him with a right hook there.
Pacquiao's fighting spirit is something to behold. He loves fighting.
And you know, he always wants to get the better of an exchange. That's why it's hard to win rounds against him. Because if you get him with a punch, he's going to get you back before the bell rings. And look at the different angles that the punches are coming from.
When Pacquiao's trainer Freddie Roach was asked about the huge weight advantage that was likely here for Margarito, he says, look, I hope he goes up to 180. Every pound he adds is better for us.
Pacquiao takes his little breathers by the ropes, and Margarito takes advantage.
But he didn't have a lot of snap on his punches, did he?
Yeah, that's right. Margarito doesn't have much punching power at all at this stage.
He has had something taken out of him again, Emmanuel, the body shots.
That one shot to the body seemed to have changed the fight tremendously. Not that Margarito was winning, but at least he was fighting with better spirit and better speed. But that one shot, everything seemed to sap out of him for a moment.
Well, of course, since Manny's a southpaw, it wasn't a left hook to the body, it's a left cross, but the bottom
Margarito
lands in the same place. Straight left-hand shots for Pacquiao, staggering Margarito momentarily there. Big right hook. Great shot. Another great round for Pacquiao.
Okay.
Reto de lejos no tire, bien
You gotta be on the
cerradito.
outside. You gotta go close up your defense and get him
Pues
in.
cabrón, pero bien cerradito. No
But
tire
close
de
up your
lejos.
defense.
De
Don't
lejos
throw
no
from
tire.
far away.
Hasta
Don't
que
throw
lo
from
tenga
far
esto
away.
ahí frente a
When
la
you put him real close, then let go of your hands. Bring your uppers in. What round is it? What round is it? Oh, it's okay. Sixth.
Well, the right eye for Margarito speaks for itself. And just to make things worse, that's the eye out of which Margarito has to try to track Manny Pacquiao's lightning left hand. Maybe the fastest punch in boxing.
You know what, and not just speed, but he punches with power. Most of the guys that have speed, they don't have power.
Pacquiao in the fifth, or Pacquiao through the first 5 rounds, averaging 33 out of 81. Margarito averaging 18 out of 63. 63 punches average per round for Antonio Margarito, who at the height of his career a few years ago was averaging 100 punches per round. The punch output gets limited when you start fighting in a brand new style as he's doing tonight, and when you start to get hit hard by somebody like Manny Pacquiao. Look at Pacquiao move from side to side.
This is what I said he should do continually.
Creating angles.
Creating angle, because
there's no way Margarito can find it. No way Margarito finds him when he does that. Just too much side to side.
Pacquiao was moving to his left to start the round to try to move into Margarito's eye where Margarito couldn't see him. That didn't work, so he started moving right and beat him up that way.
In the offseason last year, Chicago Bears cornerback Charles Tillman made a pilgrimage to Las Vegas to watch Manny Pacquiao fight against Miguel Cotto. Afterward, I asked him what was most impressive. He said, easy, the footwork. I've never seen any athlete in any sport.
Very people realize that his footwork is phenomenal.
Yeah, that's what Thomas said. I've never seen an athlete in any sport who can get to so many places so fast.
And have punching power. A lot of guys move, but it's strictly footwork. He can move and punch from any of those angles or balance positions that he's in.
Margarito having a better round this one than the last couple. Still losing by a wide margin, obviously, but actually landing some punches in exchange.
Well, Manny's taking something of a breather this round, it appears to me.
But he's winning the round still, I think, Manny's. I'll give it Manny every round of the fight so far. Some bigger than others, but he's winning all of them.
Now Margarito catches Pacquiao twice against the ropes, and Manny finally is able to dodge away. But this gives Margarito energy, this gives him will and confidence. Suddenly he's back in the fight as he's tasted for a moment the advantage of having Pacquiao against the ropes. This is Pacquiao's nightmare, locked in a trap against a much bigger man. Fights his way out of it, bloodies Margarito some more.
Hey, control is very boxing.
Getting close, getting close. Don't throw until you're getting close. Come on, Tony.
Okay?
You okay? Come on, you know what you were doing.
Here you said just the best exchange of the night that favored Margarito right here when he was landing a lot of blows and Polo man was trying to get away from him, but he was landing shots body and head. But at the end of the round still, Manny came right back with a lot of blows again, which still could have been a close round. Because that was the only really good flurry for Margarito, but I think Margarito should have won that round.
Pacquiao's racking up some astonishing numbers, though. 39 power punches landed in that round.
Time in, box.
Now round 7 begins, the more than halfway through the fight. Harold Letterman, how do you have it so far?
Okay, Jim. I got it 6-0, 60-54, Manny Pacquiao. I got to tell you, as close as that 6th round was, Manny Pacquiao still landed the clean, hardest shots. I thought he pulled it out in the end. Be as it may, Manny circling back and forth, bobbing and weaving, getting on the Margarito shots, and landed tremendous shots of his own. And Jim, the one thing we can't measure is the amount of pain that Margarito feels every time he gets hit on that swollen eye. I mean, he really must be hurting. 6-0, Pacquiao.
I agree with Harold. I thought Pacquiao won every round, including the last one. And Jim.
But you got those rounds that is called comparative rounds. I thought Manny won it, but I think that on the scorecard, Margarito may get it because it compared to the other rounds.
Yep.
But he really didn't win it. But a lot of judges do that just to keep him in the fight, so to say.
Jim, you mentioned that it's Pacquiao's nightmare. I think Pacquiao loves it. It might be Freddie Roach's nightmare to get trapped in that fight. But I think Pacquiao loves a good scrap, like the last round.
I think you're correct. I think it's Freddie Roach's nightmare. I think it might be Bob Arum's nightmare. But the bottom line is, you're right. Manny loves to fight.
Loves to fight.
Loves the challenge.
Well, this is a dazzling display of boxing skill, power, everything. Ring generalship here. Unbelievable.
So, in a historical sense, and obviously the fight's not over, but how good is he, Emmanuel?
I think he's one of the best fighters I've ever saw. And he's what we call a natural. Been getting with a good trainer that really improved him like Freddie did and brought the best out of him. But he is a natural fighter.
Well, I'll say this. I've covered boxing for 24 years, and I covered Ray Leonard from ringside, and this is the best offensive fighter I've ever seen.
He does it all and fights everybody. That's what I like about him. He's really enjoying himself here. See him try to do the kind of Ollie shuffle a few seconds ago.
what's kept Margarito up in this fight is his enormous size.
The size. The only thing, jump before the fight, you said you could see it possibly going a 12-round decision only because of Margarito's size.
Yep.
That's the only factor, but it's strictly a Pacquiao show.
No, if I had a prediction, it was going to be that Pacquiao would win all 12 rounds, win a unanimous decision, and there'd be a lot of nervous moments in it.
Yes.
I thought Pacquiao would stop Margarito right around the 6th or 7th round. And
you may be on target.
Or you may be, because Margarito seems to be weathering these storms pretty well in spite of the way his face looks.
Margarito's hanging in, and he's having more flurries as the fight continues, but Pacquiao just stunned him with a right hook and backed him off again. 2 more big power shots for Pacquiao to finish the round.
One more, listen to it.
You just get these legs up from me, man.
Come on, Tony, you gotta do it. Close him up. It's the edges coming in. Use your jab, more movement, more bend your ways than attack.
Here you see Manny Pacquiao landing all of these precise punches. Even with a guards up high defense, he still pinpoints areas where he can get through and penetrate. But to me, the perfect fight is the way he fought the last round. Punching, moving in and out, taking advantage of that great natural coordination and balance and footwork that he has.
CompuBox numbers in round 7, Pacquiao 45 of 104, his high output for the fight. Margarito 31 out of 71, his best round of the fight, landing at 44%. Harold Lederman is still given every round in the fight so far to Manny Pacquiao. And incidentally, I'll alter my prediction, guys. If Margarito throws an uppercut from too far away, Pacquiao might counter him and knock him out.
That replay that we just showed was a 6-punch combination where every punch landed from Pacquiao in the middle of the ring.
And they look at the fact that Margarito had his defense up all that time, and he penetrated to defense. Is amazing.
There was a time in the middle of his career when Manny Pacquiao was a terrific, world-class, one-handed fighter. Margarito banging him against the ropes here, trying to get to Pacquiao's body. That could change the fight. Pacquiao fighting back with his back on the ropes.
And here comes
And he
Manny.
turns it around and bangs Margarito viciously. Left cross straight on the bad eye. And another one. Right on that badly bruised right eye, Margarito. Pacquiao hits him again with the left. Margarito nods at him. Pacquiao hits him at will. Bang!
Know who else likes to fight? Know who else likes to fight? Margarito.
Absolutely.
You know, I've trained in the gym with Margarito, and what he trains going 50 to 16 rounds. That's because he wins his fights on stamina. So even though he's tired and being beat up pretty much, he trains himself to fight this way. So he's still going to be fighting very strong going down the stretch in this fight. Because that's his biggest factor, is fighting while he's tired.
And he's blocking some of the punches, taking some. He took a big left hook there. Remember, Pacquiao is taking full shots from a 165-pound man who outweighs him 17 pounds in the ring tonight.
And speaking of redemption for Margarito, so far this has been a measure of redemption because he's never stopped fighting his fight in spite of a frightful beating. And he's had success fighting in spots the way we used to see him knock out good opponents.
But he's not breaking Manny Pacquiao up the way he did Miguel Cotto. Draw your own conclusions.
I talked to Miguel earlier today. Miguel said this was going to be a very tough fight. As I was telling him, I thought that Pacquiao had to edge. He said, man, he may have edge, but it's going to be a hard fight.
What an exchange.
What a fight. I mean, this is a fun fight to watch for a fight that's being won fairly one-sidedly by Pacquiao.
Okay. So don't let him go away, Tony. Don't let him escape. You got the conditioning. We've got 4 damn rounds. Okay, 4 damn rounds. Let's go. This is it. This is it. It's the same cut. It has to move. It's the same thing. Same thing, doctor.
Don't let him put you on the ropes. All right, get back in the middle and back him up and put him on the ropes.
Open up for me. I want you to hold your breath for a second.
Here you see Pacquiao in the ropes again, which is where every time that Margarito has a good rally, or so to say, it's always when he's got him pinned in the ropes. But usually right after that, always, Manny comes right back with a flurry of punches. But Margarito's best success has been when he's had him in the ropes. And here this left uppercut, which is his weakness, right up through the center.
Power shots in the 8th round. Pacquiao landed 35 out of 65. That's sensational. Margarito had a tremendous round, landing 29 out of 55. Again, Harold Letterman continues to give every round to Manny Pacquiao. So I think with the rest of us.
Even when Margarito's having those great moments with Pacquiao's back on the ropes, Pacquiao, even in those moments, is landing almost as much as Margarito, it seems to me.
And gentlemen, CompuBox reports that the 34 punches Margarito landed in that last round are the most anybody's ever landed against Manny Pacquiao in a single round. So now Pacquiao has a new distinction in his career. He took the most punches he's ever taken in one round from a guy who outweighs him 17 pounds. And Manny holds on, and he's getting tired.
Yeah, but it's it's a size factor. If it wasn't the fact that Margarito was so big, almost 20 pounds bigger, Manny would have knocked him out sooner. But he's been able to absorb. It's much like when Sugar Ray Roberts fought Joey Maxim at time. And he did everything, but the 15-pound weight advantage was too much, and it wore Robertson down.
Remember that when Henry Armstrong went up and tried to win the middleweight championship after having won the featherweight, lightweight, and welterweight championships already, he ran out of gas against a bigger man.
Seferino Garcia, and that was in once the case again. It was just too much weight difference.
Oh, he got a draw.
Yeah,
Many think he deserves to win.
Yeah. But it's just a bigger man can absorb the punches a little better than a smaller guy. But a regular 140-pounder, I think Manny would have knocked out.
There was another left-hand rally by Manny Pacquiao. But showing intelligence and perhaps some fatigue, Pacquiao for the first time in this round has begun to move away simply to create space between himself and Margarito. Call it breathing room.
And smart strategy. He can pretty much do what he wants from long range, even though he's the smaller fighter, Pacquiao.
Another anomaly.
If he's in good shape and he can continue to do this, he'll win the fight fairly easy. But, once he gets into the ropes, Margarito uses his physical strength to rough him up.
It does seem as though Pacquiao's maybe decided that he can't knock Margarito out at this point.
Unless somebody wants to stop the fight because of that right eye, which is grotesque at this point.
And as I said, that Pacquiao landed some great hooks. Knockout-style hooks.
Nothing. The cut is nothing. Breathe. It's the same thing.
Tony.
Damn. No, forget about that. You've got to get in close. Get in close. So the last 2 rounds, you've got to knock him out.
Here you see Manny Pacquiao do what he does better than any boxer in the game. Let a guy miss, catch him with a punch, let him miss, hit him with a punch again. A lot of guys will let guys miss punches, but they don't take advantage of it the way that he does.
How painful was that? And there's Michelle Margarito, Antonio's wife, unaccountably with a big grin on her face, while her husband's face is being treated in the corner and is becoming a grotesque bloody mask.
He has a cut under his eye, Margarito. You saw in that replay. When he gets hit, it flaps.
Time. ¿Cuántos?
Orange Cole trying to see if Antonio Margarito can still see. Tests him in the middle of the ring. Harold, how do you have it so far?
I still got it a shutout. 90-81, 9 rounds to nothing. The hard-punching Manny Pacquiao. Jim, he's landing a clean, harder shots in every round. He's elusive as all get out, like Emmanuel's been saying. I mean, he's doing it all right. Beautiful ring generalship, fairly good defense. You know, he's been really aggressive, just fighting the perfect fight. 9-0, Manny Pacquiao.
Someday, boxing fans will look back and have a lot of fun arguing with each other about what was Manny Pacquiao's greatest performance, what was his most impressive feat, what was his biggest night. If this continues the way it does, and he wins all 12 rounds against a guy 17 pounds bigger than himself, touching him up, beating him up, ruining his face the way he is, this will be in the discussion.
Well, it's not just that Margarito's 17 pounds bigger, it's that Pacquiao's moved up 40 pounds and then gave away 17 pounds.
Right, he's a former flyweight, beating up one of the biggest welterweights we ever saw.
Yes, and I still don't consider Pacquiao no more than just a lightweight, about 138, 39 pounder.
And incidentally,
which is amazing.
You've noticed that long beard on Margarito. Freddie Roach wanted to get the Texas State Athletic Commission to make Margarito shave off the beard, which probably they would have done. Pacquiao said, leave it there. I want to use it as a target. That's a fighter.
Unbelievable machine.
He's putting it on Margarito right now.
And the crowd picks up the chant. Manny, Manny, Manny. Boom! Another perfect right hook. What a show. What an amazing performance. Greatest offensive fighter of the era. Tattooing Margarito.
Well, when all of the Margarito just mentally, physically fatigued both. And this is right hook.
He's ready to go.
That's one of the biggest jabs I've ever seen.
It was a right hook. He didn't see it coming.
That was a right hook from Pacquiao.
Yeah, Pacquiao
stopped Margarito in his tracks.
Fight.
He had another 30 seconds.
He still may stop him. He may get out of this round, but I think it's a good chance that Pacquiao may stop him in the next couple rounds.
How badly does Margarito want to get beat up?
Garcia may stop the fight here.
I'm okay. How are you? Tell me, how are you, bastard? I'm okay. Ballsy. You have him in front and you don't throw. It's the same. There's 1 round. There's 2 rounds left. How many fingers? 1, 2. Come on, Tony. I want to see you in this round, Tony. If not, you gotta knock him out. Come on, Tony. Throw everything. Throw it all. Good. Done. Bring your hands up, Tony. Bring your hands up. Close up. Recoup. Come on. Get in and throw, Tony.
Here you see this counter right hook, which is, as I said earlier, one of the best punches that you can land, and he's very good at that. Used to be when he first came here, he had a great straight left, and that's all you had to look out for. But now he's developed into a balanced out fighter, right hook, jab, right uppercut, straight left through the center, complete fighter.
Once he added the right hand to his stunning left cross, that took him to an entirely different stratosphere in offensive fighting. The 10th round was one of the most brutally dominant rounds of Pacquiao's career. He landed 57 of 89 power shots. Margarito threw 23 punches and landed 9. That's why Robert Garcia clearly gave consideration to stopping the fight.
Another measure of redemption for Margarito. Even though he's the villain with the hand wraps, he has a ton of heart. He could have gotten out of this fight a million times. Whenever the ref says, how many fingers am I holding? He wants to keep fighting. He's not just doing it as a show for the referee or for the fans, rather. Look at me, I'm tough. he really wants to win the fight, even though he's hopelessly behind and getting
no head movement at all. There's no head movement.
Pacquiao looking towards the ref, asking him to stop the fight at this point, it looks to me. Landed a shot, looked toward Cole's.
He again looks at Cole.
I think
How much punishment do you want him to take? That's what he's saying to Cole.
But the referee's doing a good job, I think. It's like this, you can't stop it yet. Because as long as the guy's punching back. If he was back to the ropes and being hit or something, would be different. But at this stage here, he's out being out punched, but the referee has a few more seconds before the stop.
Emmanuel, he's rearranging Margarito's face, and it may never look the same again.
I don't know, but it's just this is boxing. I hate to say it.
This is a vicious
This is boxing. Yep.
The issue is not Margarito's eye at this moment, it's his brain. How many clean headshots
can one man take?
I mean,
his punches have zero snap. He is waving at Pacquiao.
If the referee stopped, there wouldn't be any complaint, but I just don't think he's going to stop this tape.
Pacquiao again looks at Lawrence Cole.
It's a solid target. He's not moving his head at all.
This reminds me of Roy Jones against Bryant Brennan. Jones actually asked the referee, when in the heck are you going to stop this thing?
And then Jones shrugged and knocked Brennan out.
That's exactly right.
But it's not just completely just he's getting hit so much, but just looking at his eyes, he can't even hardly see.
Margarito fought to the finish against 𝕔𝕚𝕚𝕤𝕚, who was hammering him similarly to this. Corner asked if they wanted the fight, or if he wanted the fight stopped. He said no, wanted the fight to the finish. Same thing here, obviously. But it's not doing Margarito any good to take the number of shots he's taking now. Plus on an already badly brutalized face.
The corner may stop it.
He didn't do much in that round.
No. Let's go then. Let's go then, Tony. It's not bleeding. It's the same thing. It's the last round. Last damn round, Tony. Tony, okay? Tony, we got to work the jab. Come on, precise. Work that jab. I want you to do it lively. Be lively. Don't just receive the punishment. Let's go. You can do it. Come on, have that mentality. You can do it. This is last damn round.
If they're acting in the corner as if he wants to quit, and they're trying to force him to keep fighting, to coach him to fight. But they never took the mouthpiece out.
He only landed 6 out of 18 punches in the 11th round. That after 9 of 23 in the 10th. Pacquiao landed 51 of 75 power shots in the last round, meaning he is more or less hitting Margarito at will. One more round to go. When Pacquiao was doing this to Miguel Cotto, Cotto's wife left the arena. You can see that the smile is utterly gone from the face of Margarito's spouse. They've been together since high school. She's never seen him like this. Max, I honestly wonder whether Pacquiao has no more stomach for the punishment. He doesn't seem eager to hit Margarito anymore.
He does look like he's carrying Margarito right now.
It's much like Joe Calzaghe.
Some of the greatest fighters in history have done this.
Joe Calzaghe seemingly was doing that with Roy Jones in the later rounds too.
Absolutely. There's no question Pacquiao's pulling his punches now. He is not following through and committing the way he does most of the time. It's an acknowledgement from Pacquiao that the knockout isn't necessary. To a certain degree, it's a nod to Margarito's guts and courage for coming as far as he has. And Pacquiao is going to let him finish the fight.
You wonder seeing this, as great as Pacquiao is and as dominant as he's been, Margarito's not known as an accurate puncher. You wonder if Floyd Mayweather's watching this thinking, maybe the time is right to fight this guy. for years, Sugar Ray Leonard wouldn't fight Marvin Hagler. Of course, Hagler's much bigger than Leonard. Until he felt the time was right. He noticed Hagler slow down against 𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚. Then he took the fight. You wonder if maybe Floyd is waiting for Pacquiao to slow down a little bit. Because to my eye, guys, this Pacquiao's not quite the same as the Pacquiao of maybe a year or two ago.
I don't know,
easier to hit.
That's hard to say because he's fighting such different guys every time out, and they're all so big. Now suddenly there's some Manny energy. Looks as though he wants to make sure that he wins the round, make clear who's still dominant, but obviously he's not trying to finish Margarito. This is not Manny Pacquiao the fighter. This is Manny Pacquiao the congressman, Manny Pacquiao the cultural icon, Manny Pacquiao the citizen of the world. That's the man who's letting Margarito finish. And we're done.
Jim, your prediction was right.
Pacquiao has his unanimous decision victory. Margarito has a vicious beatdown to remember, and the satisfaction of having finished the fight. Cold comfort though that may be. Harold Lederman scores it 120 to 108. That's a shutout. If I were scoring, that would have been mine too.
I gave one round to
Margarito.
I gave him the it's a comparative round anyway because he did better.
Something like that. Yeah, it's almost like a courtesy round.
Courtesy round.
What you're saying is he did well enough in that round that if you wanted to give him one, that would be it.
Yeah, I gave him the 6th round.
6th, yeah.
He didn't get beat that bad in the 6th round.
It's a relatively inexperienced judging crew in some ways, so there's no telling what the scores will be, but it's impossible to imagine that Margarito has the edge on any scorecard. You saw Fernando Vargas there talking to Margarito in the corner. A happy Pacquiao corner. Manny's face showing some effects, but not much, considering that he ate some uppercuts and some jabs early.
Yeah, he got hit a little bit in this fight, body and head.
Well, I'm not of the opinion that Pacquiao's ever been hard to hit, Emmanuel. You can hit him. The question is how many times is he going to hit you? Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen from Cowboy Stadium, we go to the scorecards. Jay Longo scores the bout 120-108. Glenn Crocker 118-110. Oren Schellenberger 119-109. All three to the winner by unanimous decision. And now winner of his 8th World Championship, the fighting pride of Sarangani Province, Philippines, Manny Pacquiao.
Victory number 52 in Manny Pacquiao's now legendary career. His 13th consecutive win in this the late stages of his career. His 5th consecutive conquest of a significantly bigger man. A vicious beatdown of a guy who outweighed him 17 pounds in the ring. CompuBox numbers colossally one-sided. Pacquiao lands 245 more punches, throws 252 more punches, lands at a super high 44% connect rate. 58% of his power shots. Against a guy who has held world titles, 58% of his power shots. That's just astonishing. And now let's take a look at Punch Zone to see where Pacquiao was touching Margarito up. And of course you saw it. 117 landed punches on the side of Margarito's face that was turned into hamburger by the 4th or 5th round. 136 landed punches on the other side of the head and 148 on the chin. That's 401, or no, make it 399. 399 punches landed upstairs. No, 401. That was correct the first time. Credit to producer Dave Harmon, he was right. And the body shots and all these numbers and further testimony to the greatness of Manny Pacquiao, and Max is with him right now.
Congratulations, Manny, on another brilliant performance. That's a pretty big guy you just beat up. What was that like?
It's hard. I really do my best to win the fight. He's strong and he's a very tough fighter, and I can't believe it.
What can't you believe?
He's very tough and strong, and I never expect that one.
You never expected him to be as strong as he was?
Yes.
It looked as though by the middle of the fight, you were putting your back on the ropes and letting him work you over a little bit. Why was your back on the ropes?
Well, I've been trying to psycho him that I'm not hurting his punches, but but the truth is I really strong and I got hurt.
When did you get hurt?
When I stay in the rope.
He did. He hurt you. Where did he hurt you?
Yes, in the body and in the face. He got me in the uppercut. So, and I'm so lucky tonight.
By the end of the fight, the last couple of rounds, it looked to us as though you turned to the referee, maybe asking him to stop the fight. Can you tell us what happened there when you were looking towards the referee in the 11th round?
Yeah, because I feel pity to my opponent, and he looks his eyes and his bloody face, and take a look for that.
In the 12th round, it looked to us like maybe you were backing off a little bit, maybe not to hurt him. Did you carry him in the 12th round?
Well, I'm not looking on the 12th round. I'm not looking for a knockout. I'm just, I want to finish the round.
So you were easing up a little bit in the 12th?
Yeah, I take it easy because my trainer said, and he said, take it easy and you win the round and just be careful. Answer.
Okay, we keep wondering when there's going to be a guy who's just too big for you. Is this as big a guy as you can fight?
I mean, that's why I can say it's really hard, fighting with 𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚. He's very big and taller than me, and I can't believe that I beat like that easy.
Okay, and finally, no one can end an interview with you without asking you about a potential fight with Floyd Mayweather. What's your comment at this point?
For me, I'm not scared to fight anybody as long there's not a problem with the negotiation of my promoter, and that's my promoter job. I'm just a fighter to do my job and train hard for the fight.
Manny, thanks again. Another brilliant performance. We look forward to seeing you again as soon as possible. But excuse me, what are your plans? Are you going to continue to fight?
Yes, I am still strong and I continue to fight, and I want to thank God for giving me strength tonight and the victory that He gave me tonight, and also to all the fans who came here tonight and to watch the good fight. And that's all I can give, and I'm trying to make people happy.
You are a dedicated congressman and talk about liking going back to that job. So the pull of Congress has not yet overtaken the pull of the ring?
That's why now I have another job. After this, I'm going back to the Philippines and do my job as a public servant, and I want to help people. Thank you.
Thanks. Well, no one can ever question your heart, Tony. Tell us what that fight was like for you.
Bueno, sí. La verdad, pues, Manny, sabíamos que era bastante rápido. La verdad, todo estaba bien. Nomás cuando me cortó, ya no lo miraba bien ya no me dejaba mirar bien.
We knew Manny was very fast, and we were going good until I got cut, and then that's when the problem started coming. Did you ever consider stopping the fight?
No, para nada. Yo como todo mexicano siempre doy el corazón arriba del ring, y la verdad le fallé esta vez a mi México nuevamente, pero vamos para adelante.
No way. I'm a Mexican. We fight till the end. And this time I failed Mexico, but we'll fight till the end. Robert, I'd like to ask you, because he's a Mexican who fights till the end, but was taking a real beating. Did you ever consider stopping the fight
and maybe saving Tony from himself.
Never did. Tony's a warrior, and he would have never allowed me to stop this fight.
Thank you both.